Tucker Carlson's been on a roll lately. Here he is on New York Times, and this interview goes mega viral.
Morally repulsive, Ted Cruz or
Who do
Nick
you
Fuentes?
think is more morally repulsive?
Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz is a sitting U.S. senator who has called for the killing of people who did nothing wrong, whole populations who advocated for this war.
If you're not aware, him and I think it might have been like Huckabee, they're like talking about like, yo, just erase these people. Like the Palestinians, what, like just them by like,
yeah.
Okay. She's obviously thinking that like Nick Fuentes is worse. Nick Fuentes got his problems, don't get me wrong. But he raised the point like, no, this guy's a fucking government official calling for the eradication of people.
Nick Fuentes is like a kid. He's like 26 or 70. He has no power except his words. Here you have a public official who we pay, who has actual power, who's voting for things, who's making policy decisions. And those decisions would include, in fact, they are focused on the murder of people who did nothing wrong. And yet no one thinks it's a big deal. Well, this is totally fine. I mean, if there's tape of Nick Fuentes saying we should kill people because we hate their parents, or it's okay to kill children, I would love to see the tape, because that's disgusting. And that's basically what the entire U.S. Senate does every single day, and no one notices. Nick Fuentes said something naughty that I disagreed with. He made fun of things that I would never make fun of them.
He's a white nationalist who's denied the Holocaust.
So and this is how you know this woman doesn't really see, there's a lot of people like this, I'm telling you, like everyone got their hierarchy of like what lives matter.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it's an Arab brown life, they don't give a fuck. She said, but the Holocaust that happened, so he wants to murder like millions now? I mean, but they're brown, so like they rationalize it. They find a way to make it okay with whatever political situation you want. And it's interesting to watch because I don't like the fact that Tucker said like he's a 26-year-old kid. Stop. Nick Fuentes is incredibly influential. Okay, runs a big movement. Many of the people who follow him are part of the government. We found that out through the group checks that a lot of them are groypers who are running for House seats and shit like that. So he's very influential. Okay, but he's completely right that there's a drastic difference between podcasters and these people in these spaces and people who are elected officials. 1,000% there's a giant difference.
I mean, to her defense, isn't her name Delulu Garcia Navarro?
There's no way that's her name.
Watch, what's her name? Put it in her back.
Delulu.
Her name is Lulu.
Lulu?
Lulu, same shit. Come on now.
Oh my God, why is this a real article? There's an article here from New York Times. Who are you calling Delulu?
Her!
Here's my issue with Tucker, though. It's like, well, yes, right? Obviously, a senator saying that versus a podcaster is completely different. But like, the president saying it, when the president was saying crazy shit all those years, you was fucking jerking him off every chance you got. And like, you're glad that Tucker's saying the right things. I agree with him, 100%.
Yeah.
But it's also like, your past look a little fucked up because you was definitely co-signing the president saying anything he fucking wanted to say.
Yeah, you shook hands. You tap ass.
So I think it's important.
Tap ass. Yeah, you was in the same room being like, whoop, whoop, that's our boy.
Yeah.
Even when he was saying some wild shit. Maybe you got sick of the wild shit.
Yeah. This guy's a guy who says things in his bedroom. He's a 26-year-old kid who's just yapping. It's like, well, then that means that you're not influential, Tucker. Like, you're also someone who's just yapping, but no one would say that. You're incredibly influential. There's a reason why they want to get on interviews with you. Being a talking head is very influential. It's powerful. But it does still not compare to an elected official going like murder millions of people. That's crazy.
Yeah, someone that can vote, actually enforce certain things.
Can we also just say,
Go ahead.
Like my Christians out there, we got to do something. All these like Christian and nationalists are like these super, I'm a man of faith here in Texas, murder all the Palestinians. Like, we got to do something about these people who like use faith every single day and they're like Christ and they're like genocide.
Why?
It's really weird.
Why?
Because I think a lot of people who are of real Christian belief don't support that. And so the people who have an actual honest belief in that, they don't like it.
I mean,
I think if you go ask most Christians, they're not going to be like, murder the Palestinian kids.
I understand, but that's also what Christians been doing all day, every day, no trouble for centuries.
But that doesn't mean that they support it.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
I don't think they're going to sit here and be like, crusades are awesome.
100%, but it's like they've that was kind of their thing.
Okay, but is that worse than killing kids?
From my understanding of my own, I was just in Germany recently.
There's no way. So she's he denied the Holocaust, and he's like, well, okay, but is that worse than kids? She literally skates past that.
Germany.
She skated past that like rollerblade Rico with Myron's girl.
No, that
she was moving.
Oh,
She didn't. No, that's crazy. That's actually crazy.
And it was such a good reminder that the Holocaust didn't start with the gassing of Jews. It started with the dehumanization of Jews. It was language that was used. And again, that is what it concerns people.
I couldn't agree more. And that's why when you have a U.S. senator, a member of Congress, a U.S. ambassador waving away civilian deaths as if they don't matter, that's the language of genocide, which results, and this is the lesson of the Holocaust, in genocide itself. And it has.
Like, what is going on? What is going on? What is going on? Why? Delulu, what the fuck was that? What the actual fuck was that? Huh? Because I sensed something and I don't like it. Let me put it out there. Because the way you're treating Nick Fuentes and he dehumanized or he denied the Holocaust, it's not like he did the Holocaust. It's not the same thing. The way you responded to that, it's like he did that. Is it because Tucker talked about what happened in Gaza? And you're like, oh, no, Holocaust, worse. Like, what was that? That's so weird. That dynamic was super extra weird, my girl.
I mean, it's part of the process. It's the same way the Nazis felt comfortable with what was happening to the Jews. I think once you start seeing people as like not humans, I think it becomes a lot easier to hand wave the death of kids. Because they're not kids, they're not babies to them, they're impediments to the future of the people they care about. Right? So like that's part of that process. There's actually been a lot of studies in regards to how people are able to dehumanize people to that level and enact those acts of cruelty. The only way you can be mentally sane and to murder somebody else and murder hundreds of people is you have to not see them as people. And that's a campaign that takes a long time. And you actually see it. Like you'll see a lot of like media from folks in Israel or whatever, or even folks who are support the state of Israel like very vehemently in everything they do. And when you hear them talk about the folks that they're either displacing or some of them will have like a political justification in the middle where they're like, based off October 7th and the security. Others, though, they're just like, murder them all, kill them all. And like, it's always crazy when you think about how the Jews even ended up there with World War II. But then you realize like the only way they can talk like this is they see themselves as just and they see the people that they're going after as less than human. That's it. And this can happen to any groups of people with enough conditioning that they're buying into as a cohesive group. Dehumanization is actually super powerful.
100%.
They did this experiment. What was it? Was it the prison guards?
Stanford prison experiment.
Yeah. So they took they took a bunch of random like adults, made some of them inmates. They were like all a bunch of students or like different age groups or whatever it was, and they made some of them prison guards. And like by the 1 week mark, some people were dropping out because the prison guards were taking their role and their tribal role so seriously, and they were treating those. They're not real inmates. Funny enough, that's actually how a lot of like corrupt like cop gangs will form, or just like corruption in general. It's like they do that through the dehumanization. Sometimes,
and they justify what they're doing it's their job. Mm-hmm. The cops do it all the fucking time.
Yeah,
but I'm doing my job.
And then you get him backstage where he's just talking. That bitch deserved it.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen those body cam footage of like cops? And like I remember there was one body cam footage of a cop. I think he didn't know what thing was recording. And I think some girl died. I think she got ran over.
And they were laughing.
And they were like, fuck, she deserved it. And I was like, whoa! How desensitized do you have to be?
I can imagine people hearing this and thinking you are soft-pedaling Nick Fuentes. You are apologizing for Nick Fuentes.
I'm hardly soft-pedaling Nick Fuentes. I'm trying to awaken people to killing of innocents in our midst, which we are not only encouraged to ignore, but really told to ignore on pain of being denounced. And I'm just saying, no, I'm not doing that. And Ted Cruz and Mike Huckabee are two of the main people making this moment possible, and President Trump. But Nick Fuentes is the problem? Okay. It's not a defense of Nick Fuentes. It's merely like a reality check for the rest of us. What are we doing?
Like a lot of people are speaking about this now, and it's gone to every facet of society. I think society is just very comfortable with killing Arabs. That's it. Part of that is from 9/11 and the campaign there. But another part of it is like when you think about the babies, that's dehumanization. They haven't even had time to be like indoctrinated in any kind of ideology for you to feel okay with them dying and being nuked.
But in the future, they're going to become a problem. God damn. Exactly what the white people said when they try to nuke some cities in the States.
Yeah. I nuke the whole fucking area. Nuke this, nuke that. It's like, obviously a lot of it's hyperbole because it's a frustration, but some of it is also like some people, they don't really internalize what violence is, and because the people who are being affected don't matter to them, they're just like fucking nuke them. Sub IQ, whatever it is. And And you can see with the way this woman was doing this interview, she never wanted to address the human element of the people that he was addressing. She would just walk right past it. What about the kids? What about the babies? So I was in Germany, and it was such a good reminder. Yeah, but they're murdering millions of people. And there was like this exhibit on the Holocaust. You know, it didn't start there. Yes, they're murdering them yeah, and good Lord, like, and that's what makes these people look sick and actually fucking mentally deranged, is that they can just hand wave that shit off to talk about the suffering they think is more important. Oh, how could you deny this historical event? And look, don't get me wrong, Holocaust denial has huge implications in regards to probably how you view Jewish populations today. So it does matter. But the idea that you think that matters substantially more than what? It makes their concern seem so fucking empty. What is that saying? It's like when the worst person you know makes all the right points. You're like, damn, I just gotta give it to him.
He was softening up a bit, Nick Fuentes there. I gotta agree to that. But goddamn, Lulu, shit.
There needs to be such a fucking Grand Canyon chasm between us talking about political talking heads and elected officials. Yeah. The people who funnel money to these organizations and millions of dollars. We need to stop doing that. You know, I remember when that Destiny thing happened, where the dude got shot up on stage, and I think they're trying to shoot Trump, and they shoot the guy in the back instead, and he died, and Destiny said something wild out of pocket at the time.
The dude, the firefighter guy, Trump.
And everyone's like, how could you, Destiny? And at the time he made the point was like, the point he made was like, how the fuck are you guys going to pearl clutch at what I say when you guys suck off Trump and never call him out for anything he says? And people would like get on these talking panels and they'll be like, Destiny, how could you say this one comment? And then he would rebut them by saying like, are you ever going to condemn any of the violent shit that the fucking elected president of the great... And they're like, they would never. And it's true. Everyone watched this man say the most violent shit about this and wiping out these people and murdering everything. And nobody ever dared to say anything about it. Well, ABBA, it doesn't make it okay. I agree. But at some point, we also have to be honest that you can't just look at one side and always expect them to have the right rhetoric. And then at the same time, you're lobbing grenades. It's like somebody spitting in your face, and then when you scowl at them, you're like, nigga, you spat in my face. Like, how you gonna sit there and then try to tell me I can't scowl? You gonna talk about Nick Fuentes, but you won't talk about Ted Cruz? Huh? What? The fact that we hold comedians like Jimmy Kimmel to a higher standard than all these elected officials who get paid off.
Than the president.
And I'm telling you, it's an inconsistency that I can't look past. I will never take you seriously when you cry about Jimmy Kimmel if you're not gonna get up here and make all them videos about everything that the orange man said. Nah. So someone said, 2 wrongs don't make a right. Shut the fuck up. I'm telling you right now, if somebody was swinging on you all the time, and then you swing back, 2 wrongs, get fuck out of here, bro.
But that's not 2 wrongs, though.
That's like 10 wrongs on your side and 1 for me.
Fuck
and then you want to say that shit then.
Yep.
You should have said it when that nigga was swinging 9 times in a row.
The first time I
y'all bugging. Y'all bugging with that rhetoric. You
guys are acting exactly like the teachers that I had back then.
Get the fuck out of here.
I always got in trouble when I retaliated because I was like, yo, stop doing it. I was trying to do the 9 things. I got parents at home. Because I had parents at home that they would whoop my ass if I defended myself. But at some point, something's gonna have to give. You know what I mean? And I'm the one that gets in trouble. Yeah, no, get banged. 2 wrongs on man. No, shut the fuck up.
Peace is a beautiful thing, but sometimes, you know what I mean? You got to go to war to get to peace. You don't get there just by being like, oh, guys, I'm gonna do it. No. Obviously, you want diplomacy. You want people to have a more civil society. I don't like that we're here. But I'm glad that a lot of these fucking liberal personalities are not going to apologize anymore while the other side is just fucking saying all the most insane shit to other people. Fuck that. He orange, he a bitch. Oh, he got shot. Well, listen, he shouldn't have been there. I don't give a fuck you. That's the energy people got to bring. Because I'm telling y'all, these motherfuckers will spit in your face and wait for you to react and go,
how dare you?
That's what I think. That's me. Everybody can get it. I want everybody to lob them grenades. If they lobbing grenades, you should lob them back until everybody going to stop.